College football week 5. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
A game that we watched unfold on the bus to the airport and on the flight, and we thought we were going to miss. We thought the flight was going to take off and we weren't going to see the last couple plays, but Carson Beck throws the interception in the end zone. Game over. Alabama wins 41-34 in one of the craziest games I've ever seen, Ted.
It was wild. Obviously, Alabama jumps out to the massive first quarter lead, just gets all over them. And Georgia didn't, they didn't go away. Fought to stay in it, hung around, then made it really, really interesting in the fourth.
That start for Alabama was insane. It was
Yeah.
17 minutes into the football game. It's 28-0.
Wild.
And Jalen Milroe was incredible, dropping dimes, running wild. Carson Beck had a couple of the worst looking interceptions you'll see. Georgia just, they looked off. I mean, Carson Beck had an intentional grounding in the end zone for a safety. It's 30-7 at the half. The game was over until the fourth quarter.
Until the fourth quarter.
What is at start of the fourth? It was 33-15 Bama.
Yeah.
Beck fumbles early in the fourth, and it was like, okay, now it's over. Georgia, it looked like they had found a little life. It's over. And it was not. It felt like Bama got tight.
Yeah.
It felt like they got conservative.
It's hard to flip the switch back on after you got such a huge lead and almost settled into that it's over feeling. We're just kind of run this thing out. All of a sudden, Georgia is right there on you, and you got to try and turn it back on. It's hard to restart the engine.
I thought you made an awesome comparison when we were watching it unfold on the bus. You said this feels like an NBA game when a team jumps out to like a 25-point lead.
Yep.
And then slowly but sure, the day just can't find it, and the opponent has found it.
Yep. Yep.
But
It takes too long to re-engage, and luckily Alabama re-engaged when they had to, but that was a wild finish.
Carson Beck just remembered how to play quarterback in the back half of the fourth quarter. I mean, they ripped off chunk pass play after chunk pass play. And I mean, Alabama dried up offensively, and it was touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Georgia's in the lead with Dylan
Yep.
Bell going in the end zone. It was insane. And the fact that Alabama was staring one of the biggest collapses we've ever seen straight in the face, and they answered right away, I think it says a lot about the football team.
Yeah. It
The
says a lot
Williams
of,
kid is special.
that's what I was about to say. They found, I mean, give them credit for hanging back in there and fighting and turning the switch back on. But it helps whenever you have that quarterback and that wide receiver. What a play. That was incredible.
6 catches for 177 yards for Ryan Williams, who, by the way, did you know he's 17? They never say it.
Yeah, I did.
Did you know that Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford went to the same high school?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And Ryan Williams is 17. But he is, that was an incredible individual play. Like the catch was one thing, but then the double spin thing, I don't even know what to call that. Just
Yeah,
incredible body control.
it was wild. That was awesome to watch. I mean, it's like, okay, here you go. I mean, this is a big moment for Milrow. Can he pull off a drive whenever they have to have it? It's like, drive? Are you kidding me? I'll just do it in one play.
How do you think Kirby feels after this one? Because on one hand, it kind of looked like you were going to win the game. It looked like they had all of the momentum when Bell scores that touchdown, but you went on the road, you turned it over 4 times. Your quarterback played for, for his expectations, a really bad football game, a careless football game. And you lost by 7 points.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Like once they dig into it, it's probably we're lucky to have taken it where we took it in the second half. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not the case, but I feel like Georgia has I feel like Georgia has plateaued some time ago, and it's hard to get to that next step, and Alabama feels like they're ascending. So I mean, I would be shocked if they walk out of that one saying that we should have won that one. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they do.
We're not good on third down and turned it over 4 times.
Yeah.
Hard to go win a game on the road, but I think it says a lot of just about how talented they are that they did that and still almost won the football game against one of the
Yeah.
most talented teams in the country who may have the front runner for the Heisman Trophy on their team right now. Jalen Milroe was awesome.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how he's not after that performance and what he's done so far. And I mean, that's the biggest win of the year. So
Probably the first of three between these two teams. I
yeah,
I haven't seen anyone else in the SEC that looks to be the caliber of these two teams.
Texas Georgia game's going to be big. That's the week after OU Texas.
I keep forgetting that Texas is in the SEC. Okay. Yeah. Texas definitely in the conversation. Very good football team. That was not intended to be a slide at the Longhorns. That's my bad, Texas fans. I know a lot of you listen to this. A strange amount of Texas fans listen to this. But yeah, I think those three are in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
With what we've seen through week 5.
Yep. Yep. I agree. It's it's what that's is that the first regular season loss Georgia's had in
Yeah, broke the 40 whatever game regular
yeah.
season winning streak.
So it's a weird feeling for them. We'll see how they respond to it.
They're still a good football team.
Oh yeah, there's no
But
doubt.
yeah, Alabama is they're legit. Jalen Milroe is must see TV, man. That is a wildly entertaining football player.
Yep, I agree.
Things did not go well for the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Manhattan, Kansas.
Dang.
And at the start, it looked like it was going to be a great game. Ted, we were watching it in the booth there at Auburn, and it was back and forth, but Kansas State just put it on them 42-20 final. And it's hard to win a football game against a good team on the road. And it's really, really hard to win a football game against a good team on the road when you turn it over 3 times and your opponent rushes for 300 yards.
Yeah, it's weird that I mean Oklahoma State has not been the football team I thought they were going to be at all this year. I thought that they were going to be possess the football, run it, heavy run team, throw it whenever they have to. Their defense didn't expect them to be great, but thought that they could be solid if their offense played that style. But they just have not been able to get Ollie Gordon going at all, and it's totally changed the way that I don't know if that's how they planned on playing this year or not, but it's kind of what they did last year, and it's just not unfolding that way for them.
Alan Bowman throwing the ball 50 times is not a recipe for success
No,
for Oklahoma State. And the weird thing about it was it looked like they had Ollie Gordon going in the first quarter.
yeah,
He
they
had like
hit a couple of nice plays.
he had a couple big chunk runs. And then I think he had 72 yards in the first quarter and then had like 4 rushing yards the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I mean, they credit to Kansas State's defense for making whatever adjustments they made and shutting it down. But I really thought that was the story of the game. Ollie Gordon could not get going in the final 3 quarters, and then it was just an absolute assault on the ground from DJ Giddens and Avery Johnson on that Oklahoma State defense.
yeah. I thought we were going to get the turnover Avery Johnson whenever he threw that interception, but they settled in and they were just gashing them left and right. Um, K-State is a hard team to put your finger on right now. I guess it all boils down to how Avery Johnson plays. If he's going to be a turnover machine or a an output machine, and he had it going in this one, but you still feel like every time he drops back or takes off, like there's a potential turnover happening.
He had the interception where he just floats it over DJ Giddens, just overthrows him in the flat. But I thought this was by far the best he's looked as a passer. I mean, he was pushing it down the field, big chunk plays, and Oklahoma State's defense they've got a big issue with giving up big explosive plays. Run game,
Yeah.
pass game, they're just giving up a ton of explosives. But I you combine with him being an absolute weapon as a runner, if Avery Johnson can make decisions like he made in the passing game in this one, they're going to be just fine offensively.
Yeah. And we looked at this stretch for Oklahoma State and said this is going to decide kind of where they are as a football team, and they lost the two in a row. It kind of has you wondering what the rest of the year looks like for Oklahoma State. And there's not just a bunch of easy games. I mean, there's a say what you want about the Big 12, but there's some solid football teams that are scattered throughout. There's not a whole lot of lay down games that you're going to get. So you got to be on it every week. And I don't know how good Oklahoma State is, honestly.
I think with what we've seen up to this point that it's safe to say they are not a Big 12 title contender right
I
now.
think you're right.
I don't know who is in the Big 12.
Right.
I think the highest ranked team in the Big
Somebody has to
12.
win it.
Yeah, no idea. Could Kansas State, could this be a performance where, hey, they just get better and better and better and they're there at the end of the day, like a lot of people, including myself, thought would be? But I think Iowa State's the highest ranked Big 12 team and they're like 16th.
Yeah.
Colorado went and just absolutely destroyed UCF in Orlando on Saturday.
Yeah. I
I
didn't I didn't expect that.
Arizona, we'll get to Arizona, Utah. I mean, it's just the Big 12 is going to be chaos,
Yeah.
like a lot of people thought it would be. But yeah, Oklahoma State is not, with what we've seen, they're not going to be in the mix like I thought they would be, which is it's interesting. Last game I want to hit, Louisville went to Notre Dame, and the Irish walk away with a 31-24 victory. And Ted, the start of this football game would have been your personal hell. You talk about the shenanigans of college football. Notre Dame fumbles the opening kickoff. Louisville scores a TD off it right away. Tyler Shuck, he rips off like a 40-yard run, fumbles. Indeed, Notre Dame throws a touchdown pass right away. Louisville snaps the ball over the punter's head. Notre Dame recovers it inside the 5, punches it right in. Notre Dame fumbles the ball. One of the running backs fumbles the ball on their own 10. Louisville scores a few plays later. This was all in like the first 17 minutes of the game. It was just back and forth, mistake after mistake after mistake. I was sitting there watching it going, what is going on this field?
It's wild. Notre Dame they are the strangest football team. I don't know what their identity is. I don't know. I don't know who they are. Are they a defensive team? Are they an offensive team? When you think Notre Dame, you traditionally you think really good, solid defense, kind of a methodical possession style offense, but don't make a whole lot of mistakes, low scoring football games. That doesn't, they don't really fit that bill, but I don't know what they are, honestly.
Well, don't look at the box score of this one because it's not going to help you understand how they won this game. I mean, it's just the answer is the power of turnovers, right? But I mean, Louisville had 19 first downs. Notre Dame had 11. They outgained them by over 150 yards. They just outrushed them. It was just one of those where, and give Notre Dame credit, they made Louisville pay for their turnovers. And then you had some unforced errors from Louisville. Like there's a minute and 12 seconds to go in the game. You're at the 46-yard line. You're going to try to tie, or if you want to go for two, possibly win the football game. It's 4th and 1. You're running QB sneak, and somehow you get a delay of game. You don't snap it before the clock hits 0. With a quarterback that has played as much football as Tyler Shuck has played, I don't know how that happens, man.
That's got to come from the sideline, doesn't it? I mean, are they trying to decide what to do? I mean, you should know that instantly, especially with the clock running like that. It's not even a question. You're on the ball right now.
I it was it they end up, 4th and 5.5 and drop back and don't make it happen. But I will say Tyler Shuck is a lot of fun to watch when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He makes some throws where you go, damn, man.
Yep.
Like, and he
He's
will
kind of
sit there, he will sit in there and take hits and deliver the football. Like he's fun to watch.
when people throw around the term gunslinger for quarterback, like he fits that to a T. He will let it rip all over the place. Can make some great throws, but prone to some big mistakes too.
He had some throws in this game where you just went, that was awesome. I mean, just taking a shot in the chest and delivering a touchdown strike. I did think Riley Leonard had a nice performance, right? Took care of the football, got some tough yards in the run game. The last thing on this game, Notre Dame has one of the most iconic jerseys in college football. What the hell were they wearing? Gold helmet. I like the Kelly Green jersey, but they went gold helmet, Kelly Green jersey, and then white pants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I What are
I
they
always say
doing,
that
man? It's just wear your stuff.
you like what is the advantage Notre Dame has over a lot of people? It's the advantage that Oklahoma, Bama, Texas, like the big Michigan, the big schools, when the channel turns to the game, you instantly know who's on. Instantly because of their traditional uniforms. Don't ever make people question who they're watching. Who is that? Is that Notre Dame? Like I don't know. Don't overthink it. It's the easiest thing in the world, and Notre Dame screws it up kind of pretty constantly. They have way too many alternates for who they are.
I completely agree with that. And some of their alternates are big misses.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. I was not a fan of the jersey combo for the Irish for that one.
Blue and gold. Don't screw it up.